Here with head men's hockey coach Luke Strand. Big series this weekend. First series at home against RPI. How are the boys looking in practice and after coming back from a tough weekend?
Yeah, I think it's been good. It's been good to be back home. The excitement of playing at home for the first time is in the air for sure. You don't want to take your foot off the gas. Last weekend series where it was tight and hard, and to go there and do what happened on the road, they're going to win a lot of hockey games at Wisconsin. So there's a lot of good. We got better every single game so far this year.
Weekend at Wisconsin, obviously scoring a big goal, but that entire shift before he scored was one of the better ones I've seen. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think they just, between the determination, second effort, second forechecks, I just thought they played a really downhill game for themselves. I would give the idea of the actual execution. We had other looks that didn't get executed to the fullest, and between Lemmy and Luigi, and they did a nice job with that.
You shuffled your lines a little bit. A couple guys getting opportunities. How's it looking health-wise on the team? And then, what are you looking at this weekend in terms of changes?
Yeah, I think a lot of time early. There's probably twofold. There's opportunity. There's earning power day to day here. There's definitely a meeting at the end of the day that's got a lot to do with pole positioning and depth chart and where guys are at. And part two is going to be injury and guys stepping up and next man up. And right now we've got some holes. Timetable is a little bit iffy. We got a couple lower bodies, a couple upper bodies. So it's a different looking lineup, but at the same time, it's kind of exciting because you're always a coach. You're always hoping guys get opportunities. You hope it's not their injury, but now they got to take advantage of it.
You get a chance this weekend, too, to drop a couple banners for the accomplishments of last year's team. I know each year has a little bit different feel to it in terms of the character of the group. What can you say about last year's team and all that they achieved ahead of that ceremony?
Yeah, the banners are for those guys. They've earned it. I thought that crew of guys, they're going to be successful in life outside of hockey for sure. The way they had each other's back, the family atmosphere, the love that it took every day. Man, we miss them day to day around here. It's funny you as a coach you draw back on experiences from other years and other times and. Maybe a lot of times is where you're at this year, where we at last year. Last year we had a bunch of returning guys, so you felt like you were so far ahead, and then you watch a practice or two from last year, like maybe we weren't as far ahead as I thought. But that crew of guys, they're well deserved to stay up in the rafters here, and they earned it. So it's an exciting time, and I'm excited about just putting a cap on last year and moving forward. And this is kind of like the last part of dealing with that.
One thing that will stay the same, and that's the home Maverick fans will definitely turn out for your team this weekend. Open it up for some questions for Coach. If you have them, just raise your hand. Mr. Don Westfall.
Thank you. Coach, you mentioned that you've gotten better every single game this year. Where has the biggest improvements occurred since the opening puck drop in Omaha to where you ended up last weekend in Madison?
Yeah, I wouldn't always say systematically, and I would say we have got better that way for sure. I think maybe just individuals and stacking opportunities along the way, whether it be individual play or the linkage between offense and defense and offense, and our pace has gone up. I thought the Wisconsin series pushed pace for sure. They're a big, strong skating team that gets around, so that improved our pace of play immediately. But as a group, I felt like there was way more five in the picture this past weekend than there had been, and that's a good sign for us the way we want to play.
Matt Dean.
Hi, Luke. Freshmen so far that have kind of been regulars. I mean, I know you kind of said some of it's been some availability, some other guys, but Reed Morick has been in there, I think 3 out of 4 so far. Liam Hupka's been playing quite a bit. What stood out about those two guys' games that have made them, I guess, more regular freshmen in the lineup right away?
Yeah, I mean, I think you'd find Junior Bonk there has played in every game, and those two have played in 3 of the 4. The biggest thing about those two are just body types. They're big, long strong bodies. So physically, they're right up to speed with everything. They can handle. They're durable. And I would I think it's really important that these guys get some touches, get some opportunities, some bigger moments. I know people gave me grief like, oh, how come that guy shot or this guy didn't or whatever. You're trying to feed people opportunities, and that's for us inside of a game and, in the extra stands there in the shootout as well.
Back to Don.
Coach, it's easy to get hyped up for an Omaha, obviously, a Wisconsin. RPI for the fan base here in Mankato. What should we be looking for? What stands out? What are you guys getting ready for this weekend?
Well, I think there's so much parity in college hockey, period. You're watching, doesn't matter the weekend. I think so far we've seen teams flip scores on everybody around. So, unfortunately for RPI, they started out 0-4, but they've lost to, an undefeated Miami. They've lost to Providence. They've lost to BC. They've lost to really quality teams right now. I want to make sure that we are, defending our territory. And we had a meeting today, just a lot about it's not about who we play, it's about how we play and what it's going to take for us to get jobs done. And I think, you do your scheduling, your years out. A couple years back, we went there on a trip. And then this is a return from it from 2 years ago. So I would tell you that the East has got good skill. They get up and down the rink. They've got mobile D that are active. They've got a familiar face in number 93, our former number 7, in Luciano, that will, I'm sure, be excited to get back here and do his thing around town and have that part. So there's plenty of skill and talent on this team coming in the door.
Obviously, one of the big strengths early on has been the power play. You've had some opportunities, and you've cashed in on those opportunities. Is there a lot that's changed in terms of the way that you've approached the power play this year with the new personnel, or is it just better execution?
Twofold. I mean, one, Wardle runs a power play, and Troy's an elite hockey mind. I think a lot of times when you're on the power play and coaching power play, you're trying to get the right guys on the right seat on the bus, and what handed they are and where they're used to. Are they a better flank player? Are they a goal line guy? Are they a bumper player? So I think you got to go through a little bit of trial and error. I love the fact he's mixed and matched some groups around and given some guys different looks on different hands, whether on their offhand or their on hand. They've done a nice job using the goal line, and I just think they've got a temperament. Wardle's been a head coach a lot in his career, so you follow suit after your coach, and I know that group has done a really nice job of following his instruction on that side.
And obviously your goalie has to be your best penalty killer as well. Tracy gets player of the week this week for the 8th time in his career. Can't be surprising to you at all anymore, right?
Well, he earned it this past week, and I thought, we were under siege there for some moments of games that he stood tall. I thought we kept a lot of things on the fringe of being big chances, which was a good job by the guys in front of him. He made timely saves, which is a huge part about being a goaltender of any consistency, is your timeliness. And but he does. I mean, Keith Paulson runs the penalty kill, and I think the penalty kill has done a really, really nice job about. We've had timely kills, which are momentum builders, and I think for our group, when your goalie's on top of that part, it makes it a 5-on-5 instead of a 4-on-5.
Mitch Vosberg.
Hey, Luke. So, how do you strike the balance of trying to stay patient with these new forwards, building on ice chemistry, while also maintaining that the standard is a standard with this program?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm very good at patience, period, but I think if we're learning, growing, and taking strides, Mitch, for me, that's direction we want to keep on. I do think everyone's got the fear of failure, the fear of peer pressure. Like, they don't want to do wrong by their buddies and by our program by any means. So we're going to keep grinding. I have a weirdness about last weekend. Like, a lot of people are like, "Oh, tough weekend." I'm like, I would say, like, you go tie on the road twice, Big Ten, against a team that's going to be a top 10 team at the end of the day, at the end of the year. We're going to learn a lot from last weekend that didn't involve a scoreboard at all, and we already have. So it's been good for our group, and I think it actually has helped our standard around here.
other questions for Coach? All right. Well, appreciate you taking the time, and good luck this week.
Thank you.
Thank you, Luke.
You bet.